Before this little short review of Azur Lane, Fallout Equestria tonight, 9 p.m. And get ready, folks, because I'm going to start advertising for book sales for my writing in the next couple weeks. Anyway, on to the review. Hello, everyone. Yes, I know. It's a mobile game. Yes, I know. You're seeing a bunch of big-titted anime girls, and all of you are like, Fiaura, really? Really? This was a thing that I didn't realize was going to become a community game. Sorry, I had to adjust the microphone. For my community. And then I was asked to review it. Because some people are interested, but don't quite know. Now, there is no good place for me to put this camera, like, at all. So I'm just saying that for the record. There's no good place for me to place the camera. So I apologize. I'm going to be moving it around a little bit through the review. As a fair warning to you guys, it will get moved around through the review. Now, what is this game? Well, we're going to start. This is the server that I'm on. You have to be connected to the internet to play. This game is Ship Waifu Simulator. All of the characters in the game represent historical, actual vessels that existed, except in the rare case of the Neptunia stuff where it is futuristic anime that I'm unaware of that I should probably have done more research for, and I apologize to those of you who are offended at that thought. Now, the game is free to play. You can download it to your phone, or you can do what I'm doing here, which is playing it through a Nox player. You can see in the description below the Nox player, and it's very easy to set up, and it's free as well. From here, the basic core mechanics of the game. On your phone, you move the ships with your left thumb, you fire your special weapons with your right thumb. So we're going to start this mission in particular. I select my fleet. In the case of a hard mode, I have to select it ship by ship. So here are the vessels, and we have Hood, Long Island, Saratoga, Phoenix, Cassin, and Downs. Arizona, Washington, Shoho, Portland, LaFay, Indianapolis. It's the name of the ships. Historically, you can look these ships up. It's actually really got a bunch of people interested in military naval history. So I was like, okay, that's an awkward thing to say. You set up your formation for where you want these ships positioned. And then you set up your formation for extra attack, extra evade, or extra anti-aircraft. The auto combat is here in the event that you can't really pay full attention to the game and you're just doing additional missions to grind a new ship that you just got up. It's just like playing Pokemon. You get like a Pidgeot, you have to go back to Pallet Town to train it. Or you get a Charmander and you have to go back to Pallet Town to train the Charmander. So, basic controls on, as you can imagine, on a touch screen. My WASD down there on the left would be moving my ships around, and on the right you can see where I've got a pre-positioned J, K, and L key to fire the special weapons. And it's bullet hell. It is bullet hell with statistics and stats similar to an RPG. I can fire torpedoes, my AA guns fire automatically, and my actual main guns also fire automatically. It's the special abilities that I use manually. So this is Arizona firing. A skill triggered, it's called Eagle's Tears, which is why you see green numbers. Green numbers are for healing, red numbers are for damage. Silver numbers mean that you didn't penetrate the armor, but you still did some damage, and red numbers are for fire damage or critical hits. That's it. This is the entirety of the game. It's a very simple, very functional bullet hell with a lot of mechanics that are added into it that you learn as you go. And look at that, I got a new ship. I'm going to lock it so I don't actually do something with it and then go figure out what it does. Now I could do the rest of these, which I will do later, instead of making you watch me do all of them. I can do the rest of these in a little bit. There are other things like commissions, which are passive. You send ships out on a mission, it does it automatically. Think of oil as like your daily resource of if you use all of this, you're just out. These are missions that you get to do things, to get special rewards, so on and so forth. There's a lot of free-to-play mechanics at play here. And I admit that some of them are a little annoying. But I'm going to show you this now. Every single ship I have here, every single ship waifu that I have, I earned. I have played the game a total of, according to Nox, 100 hours. That is 100 hours where I'm not even paying attention some of the time when I'm grinding ships up. I'm just letting it do it automatically, selecting the mission, just having them go. So, realistically, everything in this game can be earned. That includes the pay currency up here, the diamond currency. I haven't paid for any of the diamond currency. I've earned it all. So I have a 30-day trade license active with 7 days left. I earned 500 diamonds to get that. In addition to this, you have a bunch of passive things you can do when you just can't pay attention or you don't want to have to do them. So just come over here and put your ships in a dorm room that you design. Again, everything in this dorm room I earned. I haven't paid for any of it, which is weird to say. This is a free-to-play game that I've handed no money to. The game is inherently designed so you can get everything in the game by playing. You are rewarded by play. You can't earn levels on these ships without playing the game. PvP is an automatic situation because you set up your defense fleet here. I have mine set to a low fleet so people can actually come and play and just like get a level. But you set up your defense fleet here. You see what you're going against. I hit start exercise. Here is my attack fleet for PvP. And I hit battle. Now I understand that this is not the most revolutionary experience because now the bullet hell is going to do an automatic fight. Which is somewhat annoying. And again, you know, my camera, there's no good place for this really. I'm going to move it down here where it's, and shrink it a little bit where it's covering up the control. But I'm not doing anything right now but letting the ships, Pokemon basically, that I trained now go do their thing and see if they can win or lose. So my hands are off and everything is automatic. And this is what an automatic fight looks like. And again, bullet hell. Now ships have a stat called evasion, which means that there's a chance when they are hit, they actually dodge the blow. That comes into play a lot, particularly for destroyers and light cruisers. It doesn't come into play as much for heavy cruisers, and your main fleet back here of battleships, battle cruisers, and carriers obviously don't dodge. But I'm going to win the battle, it seems, because my forward-facing screening fleet is now attacking their main fleet, and their screening fleet is dead, and there it goes. And the violence is very anime-esque cartoony, that, you know, it doesn't seem all that violent. So this is not something that I would say you have to hide your kids from. Now, I have the sound turned off because the sound is annoying, okay? I'm just going to straight up come out and say it. There are some times when the sound is nice, like during battle, but otherwise, all of these have Japanese voice-acted lines. Here, I'll turn it on for a second, just so you can understand my sound issue. That's the music. I'm turning on the sound effects, I'm turning the character voice.
今考えると、あの時指揮官がいたら、ピエを沈められたかもしれない。ロイヤルネイビーの栄光。
So the voice acting isn't bad or terrible, but I don't speak Japanese fluently enough to have them all talking. I get it shows it, but to me it becomes background noise of I don't quite understand. Now, and over here, like, give you battle sound for a minute. I'm going to turn this on auto to show you guys what an auto battle actually looks like. Actually, I'll play it manually. Because you can turn it between auto and manual at will, so if you don't think that the computer is doing particularly well, because it warns you about stuff like they're not going to dodge torpedoes particularly well, and they're not going to aim them particularly well. No, the sound design isn't terrible. You can tell what's happening. It gets slightly louder for higher caliber guns. And there's sound effects for your ships. Now we're going to fire the battleship. They went for a surprisingly realistic sound suite, and again, this is the core gameplay loop, is bullet hell. If you liked 1943, if you like F-22 Raptor, if you like any game in which you are a single vessel or a couple or an aircraft or just one entity having to dodge a bunch of bullets and deal with hundreds of enemies, this is going to appeal to you. If you haven't, this is not going to appeal to you. Again, this is available on my phone, so I'm going to go full screen here for a minute and just load it up on my phone, which means I have to kill it here for a second, because you can't be logged into 2 locations at once. But if I just bring it up on my phone, there it goes. So this is available on your phone. And I can honestly say that they've gone out of their way to make most of their consumer practices better for the consumer. There is less gambling, there is less incentive to actually buy stuff unless you genuinely just want to. Now there are some gambling mechanics in the game. Like, I cannot get around this. That there are some mechanics in the game that are designed to make you want to spend money. Right now, the Hyperdimension Neptunia event, where the Neptunia characters have been turned into ships and are being presented in the game for you to get, has one of these practices. So as you can see here, I don't have the wisdom cubes right now to build a ship, but you know what? We have some extra diamonds, and I'm doing a review. We can... So 300 is the minimum I can spend. Let me go to the shop and actually get a few of these. Okay, so 300 is the minimum I can spend. So I'm going to spend all of them. That's fine. I can earn more, but the point is, this is the one gambling mechanic you have to put up with. Burn a quick finisher, and I don't know what ship I'm getting. I have some control over it, where I have light, which is destroyers and light cruisers, heavy, which is heavy cruisers and battleships, and special, which is aircraft carriers and special, very special ships like submarines. But it even says heavy cruisers, light cruisers, carriers, repair ships, and more. Heavy cruisers, monitors, battle cruisers, battleships. Destroyers, light cruisers, light carriers, repair ships, monitors. I don't have any control over what I'm really going to get. It does tell me the percent chance I will receive the event vessels, or the percent chance I will receive a vessel, though. Those are revealed. You can click this little question mark here or press it on your phone, and it will show you the chance of you getting something. Now, these chances are, of course, abysmal, and I could criticize the developer to no end if they made it where I had to pay for those. I did it to show you how it worked because I'd already played the game this morning, but just clearing a stage gives me a cube, which seems like a lot, except for all I have to do is play the game. And as I said, I've put 0 real-world dollars. No actual money has been spent. I would hate to see what someone who spent real money on this has, because those super rare ships that I showed you, there's all of them, except one. I'm missing one of those ships, Blackheart. That's it. I have white. I have all of the ships on this build list at this point, but the one. So I can't super criticize them because that means that I have literally constructed 200 vessels out of this. This event started on the 22nd. It's the 27th. I've constructed 200 vessels. 200. I want to criticize them very hard for making the decision to make this very much a potluck. Like, I firmly believe that if you want a certain ship, you should just be able to go, here's the cubes and the money for that exact ship, or you can roll for it. That would make more sense. That would be much more consumer friendly. So I can't truly endorse this game because of that. Can I say it's a good game from a gameplay mechanic standpoint? Yes. You can ignore this event altogether. Virtually every single ship that is in the game will drop from your combat levels, as you saw it drop me a ship that I didn't have yet. On top of that, like, literally, that was fortunate. That's not something that I planned or could have accounted for. It dropped a ship I didn't have yet. This little Japanese destroyer, the Shirasutsu, it dropped this ship. Awesome. That's kind of cool. But there is the potential for abuse. So if you have a particularly gambling-esque personality, I can't recommend this. If you're willing to overlook this gambling mechanic, then yes, I would say play it. You will have a good time. You will enjoy the time you've spent. And again, it's a nice little refreshing change in a mobile game. To, yes, have these mobile game mechanics, but also have it stated up front what the percentage of something happening is, as well as having a mobile game with functional, I guess functional, it's not super interactive style PvP. Like, this could use some work. Obviously, I can't fight any of these opponents. I'm going to lose, and I'm out of refreshes. So this is a waste of time for me to even come in here and fight these right now, which is a problem. But the core gameplay mechanics, the core gameplay loop of going from chapter to chapter, experiencing the story of the World War II Pacific Theater. This is titled Solomon's Nightmare. But experiencing that from the perspective of an anime about turning ships into anime girls. I mean, Indianapolis is literally riding the atomic bomb. Not sure if that's irreverent or hilarious or somewhere in between. But every single ship in here has been turned into, every single historical ship from the war has been turned into an anime girl. There are hundreds of these. So your favorite one is likely here. One of my favorite ones, LaFay, is literally, or I've renamed it Lafayette, but one of my favorite ones is LaFay. The ship that would not die. If you're a real big fan of the Hood and are kind of sad about what happened to her, you can have the Hood. It's fine. But this is what you get. I'm not saying go out and play it immediately, but I am saying go on, have a look at it. If you are into this kind of anime style bullet hell. Particularly if you really like bullet hells, because it does have great bullet hell mechanics. Like, I would appreciate this even more if we took the free-to-play option out, just made it a pay game, and just took all the free-to-play mechanics out. This would be great. This would be an excellent little mobile bullet hell game. And I hate to say this, but while a lot of us make fun of mobile games, and a lot of us scoff at them, there are some that are legitimately good. This is close to that category. It's not there, but it's close. So, there you go. I did the review as requested by my Patreons. So if you're a patron, yes, you at a certain point can request me to play a certain game and do a review. This one was requested by one of my top tier folks. Here's the previous game review. Dr. Wu's Secrets for Jurassic Evolution. And here's the previous tabletop game review of the Overmare's Guide for Fallout Equestria. I'll see all of you later tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Twitch for Fallout Equestria. Good night, everybody.